You're more likely to do something if you have already prepared and stepped it through. You're already more likely to do something if you already prepared and stepped it through. What does that mean? It means if you want to not procrastinate on Monday, Sunday night, I want you to sit down and do this simple little thing. Project plan. I know it's not sexy. Please don't make fun of me right now. It's not sexy. I know it's not sexy, and it will change your life forever. The day before, the days in which it's required that you really get stuff done, I want you to sit down and project plan. I don't mean tomorrow write down your to-do lists. That is one element of project planning. But I want a bigger picture. I want you to be thinking about the big projects that you have coming up. And I want you to have written out these steps that it's going to take, the big steps that will take to accomplish this project and this project and this project, with a timeline for each of them. And then work backwards from that to create tomorrow's to-do lists. But here's what's funny. Listen to this, if your mind can't see completion, if your mind cannot see completion, meaning you don't know the path, you don't have clarity on the path to fulfill or complete something. If your mind can't see the steps, your heart will ask to pause. If your mind can't see the project through to completion, your heart will ask to pause. Even if you're the most passionate, dream-oriented, amazing high performer in the world. But you yank away someone's clarity, no goals, no growth. No clarity, no change. And so if you find yourself procrastinating, it might not even, you might be like, but Brendan, I hate myself, I procrastinate, and I even know the next 3 things I should do. I go, not enough. Knowing your next 3 steps is not enough. Your mind needs to see all the steps through to completion. And that's what we call project planning. It's not super fun, but it's saying, okay, this is the big project. Here are the big key activities, the big buckets of activities that would have to happen to get it done. Here's the timelines those big buckets have to happen, okay? Then these big buckets of activities, those have been broken down into tasks and then into, ultimately, daily to-dos. And if we don't have that, it's just hard to act when you don't have a complete picture, right? You're kind of like, procrastinating. Let me give you a metaphor. They've timed people about how long it takes them to complete a puzzle. So if I show up at your house and I give you a big puzzle box and there's 400 pieces in it, and we set it out on your table, and we watch how long different time periods takes to complete it. You know the fastest, most productive time in which people are putting puzzles together? The last 20%. Have you ever done a puzzle, right? You might walk by it 3-4 times for a couple of weeks, you don't do anything, you put a few pieces together, but as soon as the picture becomes a little more clear, guess what you do? You hunker down and you complete it, don't you? That's what's going on with procrastination. Even if you see the first couple pieces, it's just like, if you can't see where it's going, your heart will go, pause. I'm unsure. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. That's just how we think, right? That part of our brain that is trying to protect us, that part of our heart that says, I want to do good, I want to care for other people and do things with excellence, all of a sudden those are compromised when we don't do the most basic thing. So if there's an important project you've been procrastinating in, do yourself the greatest gift I can give you today. And that is tonight, sit down with your journal and step it all the way out. Even if you have to make it up. Even if you're like, I'm not sure this is actually the big activities. It's not about having the perfect project plan. It's having one that is completed, at least the knowledge you know now. Because then your brain will go, okay, let's get into this and keep making this thing better. But your brain won't get into it if you haven't project planned. So this is really important. What I do to avoid procrastination each week is every single Sunday, for me, that's my Sunday review days, Sunday work days, I'll sit down and I'll literally step through the entire week of all the major things on my email list or on my to-do list. I'll think about the bigger projects and I'll just kind of step it all the way through. And guess what? I enter the week more engaged, more joyous and confident because I know what the heck is going on. So if you keep procrastinating, I promise, if it's not lots of worry or it's not, lots of randomness, it's you haven't seen it through yet.
Take. And of course, I'm talking about the word fine.
The PA or floor monitors in a small club that I would beat the shit out of my drums so much that people would go,
"You're going away from the journey of life." And I was going so far away from my journey that my weight showed my whole mindset.
I'm fine. I lost my job. I could barely pay my bills, but whatever. It's hard to get a job in them. And you know what?
take notice. That's basically it. I mean, I don't understand the industry. I don't understand. And actually, this guy, I answered the question real tersely. I think this came from Facebook messages. I said, sounds like you found
People word. You're crappy, say you're crappy. If you're amazing, say you're amazing. Tell the truth. And this not only goes for this.
that beat the piss out of those things, and people saw it. People took notice, for sure. And that was great. So at the end of the show, I was a successful musician because I had
From pararescue, so he allowed me to leave. But I really quit. I didn't want to go back in the water.
But when you think about this word fine, it just makes me so angry. I mean, here we are at a con.
then you're set. But you gotta be badass. You just have to be really good.
And the spiral of depression, but trying to find things that I was comfortable doing. And whenever you find things that you're comfortable doing,
Feeling like roommates with your spouse, you're fine. You haven't had sex in 4 months, you're fine.
The position you are in 24 years ago. That was it. I worked in a fucking furniture warehouse and I wanted people to like my music, so I played out as much as I could.
Advice or stick to what I do best and keep getting after it on my terms.
It's one of those questions.
So I speak to that stuff. I'm fine. We got to wait till the kids graduate before we get to work.
And what look we have. I'm happy.
Achieved what I wanted to achieve. So I honestly believe, I know lots of musicians that went down to South by Southwest and said, well, it's easy for you to say.
I'm like, man, I was in the same while. So I did a job called TAC-P, control of vast moves behind enemy lines. But that job wasn't a job that I wanted.
That's where you're not supposed to. It's the areas in your life where you've given up, where you said, oh, I'm fine. My mom never got a chick.
And if you really, honestly, like I said, if you're passionate and driven and focused in what you do, if you're really good at it, people will
I went back to lying. I said, hey, you know what, CEO? This guy, the doc didn't know about sickle cell.
Of you being bored. That's right. They punched the number.
Which that doesn't mean play an instrument on their own goddamn records. Tell you, no, you're not going to know me. But that, go blow people away.
Showcase my artistic side and embrace more of a star role in the spotlight. Get out of the kitchen a bit more, gain more exposure, specifically with our high-profile clients.